Back in the studio, we're going to be talking with Joanna Long, who's a physical therapist, and we're going to find out sort of how to take care of ourselves in this crazy weather and what PT can do for us. Welcome, Joanna.
Yeah, thank you. Well, physical therapy, of course, we like to focus a lot on, trying to maintain your strength and, walk as much as possible. And so one thing I wanted to focus on is the whole idea of trying to stay as active and as mobile as you can.
Right.
One advantage of being here at Green Spring, anywhere you need to go is all enclosed, so you don't have to worry about bad weather like what we have outside today. You can go anywhere you want, and there's lots and lots of areas to walk. Walking is one of the best activities and exercises you can do. So we always try to encourage people to, if they're physically capable of walking, even if it's just, short distances outside in the hallway in front of your apartment, that's great. You want to try to keep keeping your joints loosened up and your muscles working and your endurance and cardiovascular. It's truly one of the best things to do.
I've always heard that walking uses every muscle in your body. Is that true?
It does. It's, of course, uses the leg muscles the most, but your arms also are in play. But, besides the muscular benefit and keeping your joints limber, there's also, your endurance level, trying to keep up the cardiovascular so you don't tire out as quickly.
So you walk 10 steps today, walk 15 tomorrow.
Exactly, exactly. A lot of times we see people who, let's say their spouse may have had like an electric chair or power chair, and if the spouse passes away and they still have the chair, and sometimes people will...
Very tempting, isn't it?
It is very tempting. And we usually try to encourage someone to, if you're able to walk, try to do as much walking as you can. We usually recommend, something like a power chair, kind of like the last resort. If it's just too difficult, too straining on you, either from muscular standpoint or just cardiovascular is just too much for someone to deal with.
It does take longer if you're going to walk and you have difficulty walking. You just have to allow for it.
Exactly. And that's another thing that is so great about Green Spring is they have benches.
Yes.
Scattered throughout the hallways, and so there's usually some place where you can sit down and take a rest if needed.
Right.
There's usually something, either a chair or a bench at almost every elevator.
Right, and each of the changes in the building, between buildings. Right.
So, but yes, staying active is very important, and also exercise. If working on the participating in the exercise programs that are on the Channel 6 are very important, even if it's just just moving around and getting your muscles working and loosening up.
Right.
So and also, I don't work directly with the fitness center, but also being a part of the fitness center is also very helpful to try to keep yourself active and as mobile as you can.
Okay, now if you're kind of stuck in the apartment, of course you have the with the TV, and those are good exercise programs. I've done them sometimes just because I didn't want to get out and go someplace else. I would just turn that on and work with it, and they're very, very good.
Yeah, they are. If someone feels like they have maybe declined in their functional mobility, maybe they were able to walk 100 feet and now they can only do maybe half that. If you feel like you've really noticed a decline in your functional mobility, what I would probably recommend is talking with one of the doctors, whether it be if you go to someone at the medical center or someone outside of Green Spring, and maybe inquire about getting a prescription for physical therapy, And then you could go to the physical therapy at Hunter's Crossing, and they, depending on what deficits you may have, we could start up exercise routine, and then a lot of times before you're discharged from therapy, we send you home with a home exercise program.
Right.
So then you'll have exercises written out with little diagrams that you can follow, so you can work on the exercises, after you're done with the physical therapy, so you can keep going with what you've been working on.
Of course, it helps if you have someone to work with you. I mean, as far as
Oh,
a friend to walk with.
Definitely.
Or someone to say, have you done your exercises today?
Definitely. It's very helpful to have someone to keep you motivated and keep you accountable. And I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard people say, but I like coming here because you motivate me, and
Right.
which I completely understand. It's hard, to get yourself to say, okay, let's go for a walk. I don't really want to,
Yeah.
but
Oh, it'll take so
so
much
and so's
time.
coming over, so let's go for a walk and get out.
Right.
And then a lot of times you feel better after you did it.
You do.
You realize, you did something good for yourself, and the exercise helps to, battle depression, and just, with, weather like this when it's kind of gloomy out, any little thing we can do to help,
And sometimes
perk us
just
up.
walking around in the hallway, you meet people and exchange a word or two, and it just sort of perks up everybody's day.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah, I see that a lot when I'm just walking from Garden Ridge to coming here today, passing people that I've worked with in physical therapy in the past. And it's very motivating, to see people out and about and walking and getting their daily exercise. So,
But it is hard sometimes to kick yourself to get to it.
it is. I think, the motivation is probably one of the hardest parts, is just, starting and getting yourself going. I'm always amazed at people that live here, and they're still so incredibly active.
Right.
People in their mid to even upper 90s,
Right.
and it's just astonishing. It just makes me realize and remember how important it is to stay active. And it's not like you have to go out and run marathons, just the little bit of walking throughout the day, exercising, in your apartment or going to the fitness center. I mean, anything you can do, to stay active is just, it's very important.
Right, it is. I think that's why we have so many people who hit that 100-year plateau, or not really a plateau, but they keep going. And because we are active here. I mean, you have to walk to the dining room.
Yes.
And it's an active place. It is. Well, thank you so much, Joanna, for coming on.
You're welcome.
And be sure you take her advice and keep yourself moving, regardless of how little or how much, but just keep moving.